What is up, fam, and welcome to another Car Talk podcast. Today we are filming episode 11, and I'm just calling this a little update, little life update, just because honestly that's exactly what it is. I am heading up to my cabin right now, so that's where I'm driving to. Got 79 miles on this highway, so I will be safe. I will be driving this whole entire podcast, obviously. And unfortunately, for those that are concerned, I'm sorry, I do not have a mount, as you can tell. I'm holding my phone with my right hand, and I know that's not the safest thing, but I promise you, I will be safe, and I will stay tentative to the road. And this is honestly how I operate my best behind the wheel. I love being, like, either listening to a podcast and, like, having my mind work, or I just absolutely, like, just love talking, or, like, I do voice journals a lot, and I like to even do, like, video journals for myself that I don't post, but, you know, obviously that's not, like, a podcast, so, yeah, I want you all to know and feel comfortable that I am being safe, I am good, and yes, I can drive with my knee as well. My gosh, now I'm being way more conscious about my safety. I appreciate you guys. One of you guys mentioned that, and I have been really thinking about it hard, and that's why I haven't even filmed a podcast. I haven't made it over to Best Buy and gotten a mount yet for my car, and so it's just been, and plus I didn't have AC. I got that finally fixed this morning, so I'm very thankful for that. And my gosh, this backpack is going to be rattling. 1 second. Alright, so yes, it has been a very hot week without air conditioning. Thankfully, my girlfriend Caroline, she's an amazing individual. I can't believe I have her as my girlfriend. She is literally the best. She let me drive her car around and go pond hopping and stuff throughout the week. So I luckily wasn't, driving around miserably for too many days. But anyway, I'm just very grateful. I'm so happy that I'm going up to my cabin. It just really brings me back to my roots. Just a lot of the reason why I love summertime, and just being out in the warm weather, doing what I absolutely love to do most, which is fishing. It's just the most amazing thing to do in the world. Like, I couldn't stress that enough. I love it so much, and I'm sure, you have something that you love just as much, and I just hope that you're dedicating a lot of time to that, and I hope you're being as happy as you possibly can be, throughout your life, doing whatever you're doing. But I want you to know that it's best if you also prioritize the things that you love. And that's actually where I want to take this podcast. I was just talking to one of my good friends, and it really got me thinking about how I broke my patterns, and how I ended up getting to the point where I'm at now, where I'm essentially living how I want to be living, and how I'm, I genuinely feel the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. Like, throughout my childhood, I've described this before, but for those of you that maybe didn't listen to that podcast, like, genuinely, summertime, those 3 months in summer, June was the best, I'd say. July was because I knew summer was about to end, and then August was just because school was starting. But all in all, like, those 3 months were the best and the happiest months of my life as a child, and I feel that way all the freaking time now. Like, genuinely, I feel so stinking happy all of the time, and I'm just so grateful for it. And I unfortunately had to go through hell and back to get to that place where I'm at now, but I'm just so grateful for it, and that's why I just want to share some stuff behind how I got to where I am. And the biggest thing is, like, when you come from a family that only was taught to go to school, get a college degree, work a good job, work up, a company and then get benefits by the time you're 25, 26, so that you don't got to worry about insurance. Like, if you come from a family like that, you're very, very similar to me. Like, super, super similar. And why do I mention that? Well, I mention that because I'm the opposite of that. Like, that is what makes me feel like I'm in school all of the months of, my childhood. Like, I've tried to do that as a young adult. I've tried my absolute hardest, actually, to be a normal adult, to work 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, be a blue-collar worker, work in the union, like, all that jazz. And I genuinely am not built for it. I am not my whole entire persona gets thrown off when I have to clock in for a job. And I say that because you might be thinking, that's me, or you might be thinking, holy smokes, that is not me. I'm so thankful that is not me. And if you're thinking the second thing, you're 100% right. That is all I can honestly say that I've wished for throughout my whole entire life, is that I feel normal and happy like every other person that works and throws away 40 hours a week for somebody else's dream. Like, if I can genuinely do that, and do that without feeling like I just threw away my time for somebody else's dream, then I will genuinely be the happiest person on earth. But that's just not me. And I know, like, a lot of people, if you're from my fishing background, like, you're from my fishing community, like, that's probably who you are. And dude, I would do anything to be able to work 40 hours a week and to be able to fish all of the rest of the week and to feel fulfilled like that. Like, honest to God, it'd be a lot less headache in my life, and it would be a lot more simple. And I'd maybe even start getting married earlier in life, and I would even maybe be having kids earlier in life, and my whole entire life would be different. And hats off to you if that's you. Like, I think that's awesome. But if you're not that way, if you're like me, I want you to know something. And I want you to genuinely hear this through and through, because this is super, super important. Your parents are not going to want you to do the thing that is risky, which is not work a full-time job and not find a job that you can work up the ladder and find, good benefits at some point and a good salary. Like, that's not... if that's not the option for you, like, if that's not what you want, your parents are genuinely going to be scared shitless. And that's because they love you. And if that's the case, you need to realize that instead of being mad at them for that, you need to be thankful and grateful for that. So many people in this world would do anything to have their parents actually give a shit about them and actually want to spend time with them, or actually want them to, like, do good. Like, a lot of people in this world don't even know their parents. Like, they genuinely weren't even a kid that wanted to be had. So if you have a family, if you have parents that are genuinely supportive and, don't want to see you fail and do the scary thing because they love you, be thankful for that, first and foremost. That is the most important thing that you can do, and that is the most important thing that I did to get to where I'm at. Now, second, this is going to be the craziest reason and thing that you probably could ever imagine. Or maybe not, but genuinely it's the craziest advice that I was ever given, but the best advice I was ever given, by far. And that is, I don't know if you're going to, that is to genuinely disappoint your parents. Like, if you think that you dropping out of school or withdrawing from school, like in my case, or if you think, doing something outside of the realm of a full-time job and all that, like content creation for me, like, if you think that, like, if that's the case, you genuinely need to realize that your parents are going to hate you for it. They're going to be scared shitless. They're going to hate the fact that they have to tell their other friends, especially if they care about other people's opinions, which most people do in our society. So you're genuinely going to have to deal with a really, really uncomfortable confrontation and years of it. Like, genuinely, for a couple years, it's going to be weird. It's going to be different. Like, you're going to have to completely change the relationship that you have with them. But first and foremost, that's why you have to be grateful for them. You have to be grateful for the love that they have for you. You have to be grateful for them. That's like the most important thing, because otherwise this whole thing would be really arrogant, I feel like. But the second step, I'm serious, you have to disappoint them. You genuinely just have to disappoint them. And I feel so confident saying that is such a good piece of advice, even though it's a weird piece of advice, but I feel confident saying that because it's been 3 to 4 years now since I've been disappointing my parents as far as not working a full-time job or not doing the things that they think, I should be doing. And I've come to the point where they are genuinely happy for me. Like, they've seen my life change for the absolute best over the course of 4 years. That's the truth. They have. And they know that. Whether they want to admit it or not, they subconsciously will know that. And that alone is everything, for me at least. Like, that was what, the times that I had where, I bicker with them and, like, I would try to, share my dreams with them and they would shoot it down, right away. Like, that kind of stuff really, really stopped carrying weight for me once I started to see that my parents were genuinely supporting me and my content creations. Like my parents, love seeing my posts on Facebook. You know what I mean? Like, they love that shit. They really, really do. They love seeing pictures of me catching fish. They love me sharing my passion, and for fitness, fishing, food, like, whatever it may be. Like, that's cool to them. And it wasn't cool when I wasn't getting likes. It wasn't cool when I was even ashamed of telling them that I was doing that. Like, it wasn't cool. And matter of fact, it was goofy, it was weird, and it was dumb, like a waste of time. And now, I think I'm finally getting to the point where tides are turning. Tides are changing, baby. Like, I know if I keep doing exactly what I'm doing for the next 5 years, and if I, which I know I'm going to, because I'm seriously so damn happy. Like, I am the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. I am living off of very, very, very little. And I just know I don't need anything else to make me happier. I really don't. I don't need anything fancy, and I can wait for that. I really can. Like, someday I do want my own home, and I want it to be an awesome home that I own. But I can wait for that. Like, I'm not going to be impatient. I'm not going to be impractical. Because if you have a big goal like me, if you have a big ambition, you have to realize that patience is the third step. Patience is genuinely the third most important. Honestly, it might even be tied with the first, but gratitude is everything. Because when you get into a funk, which you're going to get into a lot of funks on your journey, you need to lean into gratitude. It's the number one thing. But honest to God, and then once you disappoint them, that sucks. But then the third thing is to realize that it's going to take time. They're going to be annoyed with you for a couple years. They're going to be maybe even more. It might even be 5 years. But genuinely, after those, in the grand retrospect of your life, like, the grand scheme of things, that's a fucking tiny chunk of your life. 5 years? Come on, dude. Like, if you're 20 like me, or 22, 25, even 45, like, by the time you're 50, if that means you're going to be doing what you love to do and want to do every single day, and you're genuinely happy as hell, and your parents are going to be happy for you, your family's going to be happy for you because they are seeing how happy you are, and, like, who cares if it's something crazy and weird, but, you're giving yourself the opportunity to try it, and you're ultimately doing it. After 5 years, they're genuinely going to be so happy with you. And I just am here to tell you that it is worth being patient. It is worth it. It is worth it, worth it, worth it. So worth it. And the relationships that you have for the rest of your life are just going to be way better. Like, genuinely, your life is going to be amazing. Why do I say that? Well, I say that because resentment is the biggest no-no. And if you don't know what resentment is, it is essentially feeling like you hate somebody, but you love them so much. Like, but then again, like, you hate them because of something little that they're doing that you're either afraid to tell them that they're doing it, or you're just ashamed of it, or genuinely just are having a hard time processing it, like, that's a no-no. Like, you cannot, that's not at all what you want. And, like, I just want you to know that you need to be confident. You need to be confident in knowing that what you have in your heart and soul is worth fighting for. It is worth it all. It is worth the time. It is worth, not feeling the resentment. It's worth it. If you feel that resentment, if you have that all in your life, you'll know what I mean. And if you don't know, go hang out with some 80, 90-year-olds. Like, they all will tell you all of the things that they wish they would have done. And that's resentment. They love their life. It's not like that they would have taken any, like, they wouldn't have necessarily done anything different, but they wish they would have done more. They wish they would have taken the risk. They wish they would have done the thing that would have made them happy deep down inside as a kid. And I just want you to fight for it. It's worth it. It's so worth it. And I just want you to know that if you are like me, you need to keep pushing, and you need to understand that you need to be the one that is in charge of your life, financially and everything else. Like, you need to take care of your health. You need to take care of your health. That is obviously first and foremost. Like, you need that. Without health, you're gone, you're done. Like, genuinely. So get healthy, whichever way you like to do that. I like to lift weights, so that's what I do. I love to play sports too. That's a great way to lose weight if you need to lose weight. And if you like to play sports, pick up a rec league or something like that. If you're also like me, like, you're genuinely just going to have to swallow your pride. You're going to have to genuinely live the way that is going to allow you to do what you want to do. What does that mean? You're genuinely going to have roommates. You're not going to have the nicest apartment with your girlfriend. You're not going to have all the luxuries in the world. Odds are, even if you do have roommates, you're going to have a place that you're staying in that isn't the most ideal. But when you lean into gratitude, which is the most important thing, you genuinely don't care. Because it's way the hell better than grinding away 40 hours of your life a week doing something that you don't love to do for somebody else's dream. And like I said, I know that to be true because I've lived that. I've lived it. And I just want you to know, just like I told my best friend, you are my best friend too. Like, I genuinely want what is absolutely best for you. Whether that be finding the best job ever that makes you the happiest and most fulfilled ever, so that you can have a work-life balance, so you can do a bunch of fishing and all that. I want that for you. If you want to be a content creator, or if you want to be a businessman, if you want to be, anything that's abstract or abnormal, just know that you can be that. Just make sure that that is who you are. And that's just not your ego talking. You can't want to be a businessman because you like money. Nah. I've got a lot of friends that call themselves bosses. Oh yeah, I'm a boss. What up, boss? Nah, dude. If you're a boss, you're not wanting to work for other people. And a lot of those people that call themselves bosses are the biggest hypocrites in the world. I used to be one of them. So I promise you, when you lean into self-awareness and you know exactly what it is that makes you happy, you too can do exactly what you need to do to get to the position that you are destined for. And for everybody, that's different. If you're like me and you got big goals, ambitions, you got to create content, you got to do that kind of thing. But if you're not like me, man, honest to Pete, man, do whatever the hell makes you happy. Like, the ultimate goal in this life is to realize that life is a joke. We're literally floating on a damn rock in space. We're all blessed with a opinion and a thought process and all, a body, but genuinely we're all entitled as hell thinking that we know what is up and thinking that we know what, is fact and what's truth and what's not, and, how we should tell other people to live or whatever the case may be. Shit, everything that I'm saying could be completely woo-woo bullshit for all I know, and for all you know. But I genuinely know and feel in my heart that this is going to help people, and I genuinely feel that this is my truth. And I think that as a human on this fucking floating rock, the least we can do is express our truth with the humility to hear from others and to hear feedback and to converse about our beliefs in a respectful, kind way. But ultimately, don't give anything extra weight. If your parents are giving you a hard time, if you're living under a really tough circumstance, just know this is only temporary. I know that sounds cliche, but it's true. It's only temporary. And honest to Pete, if your parents are giving you a hard time, who cares? Be thankful for it. They care about you. But even if they don't care about you, if they're being absolute assholes, get the hell out of there. What the hell are you doing under their roof still? Find a way out. Get out of there. If you're in a negative environment, you're going to have to get out. Negativity does not work when you're an ambitious fellow like me. You've got to be around practical optimism. And that's what I hope to bring to you while I'm on this floating rock. Is practical optimism. I'm not delusional. I'm not going to tell you anything, any secret way to get happy. I'm telling you everything that's practical that I had to do in my life to get happy. That's it. And, I just love you. That's it. That's all I want to get across with this podcast is that I love you. I love people. I love spreading kindness. And I just want you to go out, spread that happiness if you feel the same way. And if you don't feel the same way, keep listening to guys like me. If you need more content, Gary Vaynerchuk is a great guy that I like to listen to, but there are plenty other optimistic but practical people that you can listen to that are going to give you hope. If you're in a negative environment, fill your ears with it. Put in your AirPods. Just listen to positivity only. Please, do yourself the favor. It'll change your life. But for real, I just hope you all stay curious. Like I said, man, if you're happy, go out there, spread that happiness, and tell somebody that you love them. If you haven't talked to somebody in a while, but you really, really are loving them, or if you really, really are thinking about them and you love them, whoever's popping in your mind, text them, let them know that you love them, tell them I hope you have a great day, and yeah, I hope you have a great day, or night, or morning, whatever the hell you're listening to this. Alright guys, I'll catch you later, and I hope I have a good week up north. I should be up here for about 4 or 5 days. I might be coming out with a couple more podcasts, maybe even while I'm up here. I might go to the muskie shop or something. Maybe I'll film a podcast. Maybe I'll be in the Northwoods vibe. But just know I'm being as safe as I possibly can be, and I will be uploading this on Wi-Fi. I only film these while I'm driving. I don't upload them or write the descriptions or anything while I'm driving. I love doing this. I really, really do. And I appreciate your concern, but I genuinely know for a fact that I will have a phone mount within the next 5 to 10 podcasts. I promise you. But give me the next 3 or 4 to acquire one. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. Thanks for tuning in.